Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, of Eltoma Corporate Services. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Elina Kulikovska. I'm team leader of Customer Service Department, senior legal specialist, and sales representative of Eltoma Corporate Services. So today we will talk about doing business in Hong Kong. Very interesting topic. Why? Because first of all, we will discuss how to incorporate company, how to make a business, what is the main advantages, and so on. So, first of all, I would kindly put your attention to the chat box on the left side of the screen, where you can put and write all your questions, any information, whatever. Plus, you can make your comments, and I hope that, and I would like ask you to tell me, just put plus or something, any sign that everything is okay with the sound, and you can hear me properly. Great. Thank you very much. So I think that it's better to start. So today we will discuss following main points. We will discuss some kind of introduction to Hong Kong as a special administrative region. We will discuss company incorporation in Hong Kong, maintenance of companies and business, tax treatment in this region. Plus, we will discuss shortly, summarize main key points, key benefits of this jurisdiction. I may tell you that as a person who is working with Hong Kong, I can tell you that today we will discuss almost everything briefly about how to do business. We will not split incorporation process from taxation. We will do everything. We will discuss everything all together. So let's start with introduction of Hong Kong as a special administrative region. And Hong Kong as administrative region was established in 1997 under the basic law of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Hong Kong is considered to be part of the People's Republic of China, or is China. Hong Kong enjoys executive, legislative, and independent judicial power, is independent to issue and maintain its own legal tender, and under the basic law applies the principle of one country, two systems. We may tell that here we can have the social system and policies of freedom somehow, yes. Hong Kong applies a common law system whereby the law relies on a system of case precedent, not restricted to judicial decisions generated within any single jurisdiction, but case law from all jurisdictions, although the common law world. The official language in Hong Kong are Chinese and English, having English as a widely used language in the government, legal, professional, and business sectors. So mostly all the companies which incorporated in Hong Kong, everything is mentioned in both languages. Chinese. Hong Kong is leading financial and business center with a gross domestic product of more than 320 billion US dollars, and ranked on 5th place worldwide to easy of doing business according to the World Bank. Business-friendly, straightforward, and transparent regulations are some of the common for doing Hong Kong has. What else should be mentioned? I think that it's better also mention that Hong Kong is the largest financial center of Asia and a major trade and transportation hub of southern China. It's the third largest world financial center after New York and London. The of investment protection and minimal restriction moment. According to Bloomberg, in 2016, 17 years, Hong Kong continues to keep its position as the best country to do business worldwide, and it's ranked first in economic freedom, calculated by the Heritage Foundation and the Wall Street Journal experts. Also, I would like to pay attention that Hong Kong is very interesting because of taxation, because of tax system. We'll discuss it further, but still, the tax system in Hong Kong it's a territorial principle of taxation, and quite good requirements for the withholding tax and other points of taxation. Also in Hong Kong, very not difficult, I may tell that not difficult procedure of maintaining of companies. So now let's talk, I think it's time to talk about companies incorporation, and the main point of doing business is incorporation of the company. We'll discuss types of companies, procedure of company incorporation, what is the main requirements, formalities, structures of the company, and so on. So a public body is responsible for company registration in Hong Kong and is called the Companies Registry. It's official registry of companies. They have their own website, which you can visit anytime. The Companies Registry supervises the registration process of all Hong Kong companies, records and updates any changes to corporate structure, holds registers and annual returns. Laws that govern companies in Hong Kong is referred to as the Companies Ordinance. All information kept by the registry is available to public access. Documents such as general company information may be obtained by any person in Hong Kong, including foreigners. Documents are available in Chinese or English, depending on the language they have been submitted for registration. We, as Eltoma Corporate Services, who provide services in company formation and maintenance in Hong Kong, we mostly worked with English, and all documents provided by the registry provides in English, mostly with a Chinese translation. Also very important to mention that in January 2017, Hong Kong government decided to submit for public discussion of a proposal to amend the company's ordinance. These changes will concern the maintenance of registers of beneficial owners of companies. The main points is starting from 1st March 2018, all companies incorporated in Hong Kong were made to provide and should provide all the information about beneficial owners. So the information about beneficial owners in Hong Kong is disclosed. Don't worry, we as a service provider, we provide information in all registers about our beneficial owners, and we are keeping all the records and information in our databases. Let's discuss types of companies. In Hong Kong, there are several types of companies: the public limited liability company and private limited liability company. The main difference between these companies is that the public limited liability company can offer its shares to public, and transfer of shares is not limited to shareholders solely. The transfer of shares in a private limited liability company is possible only with the consent of all shareholders. So this we are talking about preemption rights. Thirdly, the existing shareholders have the right to acquire shares. Percentage shares which belong to existing shareholders cannot be changed without prior consent. The articles of association are created based on this difference. So Eltoma Corporate Services, we are mostly working with private limited liability companies because it's main private business. Public companies, they are open for stock markets. In private, it's private ownership. Let's discuss the procedure of company registration. And here we have some main points of the procedure. First of all, the main steps. First is company name approval. So, as for the company name approval, this is a separate procedure which can be completed online or on the application. The selected name should be accompanied by the company's activities and explanation of the name if it seems ambiguous to the registry. For instance, the use of abbreviations, foreign words, names, etc. Well-known geographic names and brands cannot be used. Also, words such as royal, state, and words associated with certain licensed activities such as school, college, church, travel agency, etc. A license must be obtained to use these words, then the name can be registered. So you cannot, unfortunately, you cannot incorporate a company with the name International Bank, for instance, because it means that you should have license to be the real bank, and in this case you can't provide services of just trade agent. Then for private companies limited by shares, it's obligatory to use the word limited at the end of the name. We can't use LTD. It's prohibited by the law. Only limited can be used. So this acronym LTD cannot be used at all. Each company should have registered address, director, shareholder, if we are talking about structure of the company, director, shareholder, secretary of the company, and the main document of each company is the articles of association. I'm sorry that our presentation was interrupted. Okay, let's continue. So we were discussed the articles of association of the company. Each articles of association of the company should be signed by the founding shareholders. So who are the founding shareholders? It's the first shareholders of the company. They sign the company's articles of association. Their names are stated in the document and cannot be changed. So even in the case you change your shareholders in a company, only first shareholders and their signatures are mentioned in the articles of association, and they cannot be changed at all. Also, each company should have a director. It's a first directors. A private company where liability is limited by shares must have at least one director in Hong Kong. Public companies must have a minimum of 2 directors. The company has the right to appoint corporate directors, not necessarily local. However, at least one director must be a physical person. The latest requirements in the company's ordinance. So, put attention that at least one physical person should be as a director of the company. There are no requirements for the residency of the director. As in Singapore, we know that there should be a local director only, but still any person can be the director of Hong Kong company. Also, the next step is submitting the completed application form to the company's registry, either via a hard or a soft copy. A hard copy of certificate of incorporation can be obtained when submitting a hard copy application form. Receiving notification confirming the approval of the company incorporation. This is the main steps of the company's incorporation in Hong Kong. Which documents should be received when the incorporation is completed? First is a certificate of incorporation, a resolution of directors' appointment, minutes of first meeting, a register of directors and register of shareholders, plus share certificate. Do not forget that starting from the 1st of March 2018, we also should keep registers of beneficial owners of the company. Each company in Hong Kong should have a registered address. The official address of the company must be registered in Hong Kong. Using a residential property for business purposes is not allowed. The company secretary and registers of the company should be located at the registered address. We, as a service provider, Eltoma Corporate Services, we provide our secretary, local secretary, plus local registered address. A secretary of a Hong Kong company must be a resident of Hong Kong. It can be a physical or legal person. All reports and changes must be submitted to the registry and signed by either the director or secretary. The company secretary has the right to apply to any government and obtain all necessary information about this company. Also, we know that Eltoma Corporate Services provides services of nominee shareholders, nominee directors, for the companies who are taking part, very important part in company formation, plus in doing business in general. I think that we can move further. Now, after the incorporation of company, we know that each company in Hong Kong should have their own maintenance, and there are certain requirements to keep a company in good standing throughout its existence. We will go over these requirements in more detail, placing particular attention to private companies limited by shares. The company's officers must ensure that the annual return, changes in the corporate structure, and all other important information is submitted to the registrar of companies in a timely manner. The annual return is submitted through the form, a special form, within 42 days after the anniversary of the date of incorporation every year. The registration fee for this form will increase if there is late submission of the form. So each company who will have the late submission of the form, it's different penalties. Each year it's different, and it depends on the decision of the registrar of the company. Put your attention that annual return contains all the information about company, company structure, and so on, should be prepared and submitted by the secretary of the company, and is submitted to the registrar of the companies. All changes in the corporate structure of the company, they should be submitted within 15 days after the change. I'm talking about changes of registered office, secretary, director, shareholders, transfer of shares. When we are talking about transfer of shares, in this case, we also need to put attention into the stamp duty, because each transfer of shares, it contains to pay stamp duty for the transfer of shares. Except annual return, back to maintenance. Except annual return, each company should also complete their accounting, have their account, audit reports, which should be submitted to the tax authorities, and so on. Eltoma Corporate Services assist with these services. We provide to our clients, we provide services of accounting, of taxation, legal services, professional opinions, preparations, and so on. If we are talking about financial reporting, which is also the main part of taxation, tax treatment of the company, and also the main part of doing business, the Hong Kong company, each Hong Kong company must submit tax return on a yearly basis, annually. Every company within maintaining of her activity, of to be in good standing, should pay for the renewal of the business license. Each company has a business license, and after that, annual return should be submitted. What about financial return? Financial return, it's accounting maintenance, which is obligatory and required by the law. However, changes to the ordinance that have been adopted recently list the companies which can prepare reporting under a simplified procedure. Also, there is requirement for audit on a yearly basis of all financial statements of the company. Only companies dormant with dormant status, they are not required to have or to proceed with the audit report. Preparation and submission of the tax return for the private companies. The tax authority normally sends out the tax return from around the 1st of April. The deadline for submission of tax return together with audited financial statements is started in the form. There is a system of penalties for failure to meet the requirements on submission of the reporting. If the report has not been submitted on time, I'm talking about tax reports, the cost of renewal of the annual license increased, and penalties for untimely submitted tax account increase as a result of illegal proceedings. There are also penalties for untimely submitted annual accounts. About tax treatment of the companies. Hong Kong applies a territorial source principle of taxation, whereby only profits generated in Hong Kong are subject to taxation in Hong Kong, and there is no remittance tax for profits derived from abroad. Interestingly, Hong Kong has been providing advanced ruling through the Inland Revenue Department to provide certainty in the application of the territorial source principle on a determined operation. The current corporate income tax or profit tax applies on a rate of 16.5% and are deductible all expenses incurred in the production of the profit. Tax returns are issued annually on the first business day of April, and companies might pay a provincial profit tax for the following year, and this payment is credited against the final profits tax liabilities. Any excess payment will be refunded. Companies are allowed to apply to an exemption from the provisional profit tax regime under certain conditions. Dividends are exempt from profit tax and withholding tax. Capital gains are not taxable, and most important, there are no value-added tax on goods or services tax in Hong Kong. So VAT is not applicable in Hong Kong. Why Hong Kong? Why it's better to use? What are the main key benefits of this jurisdiction? As we can see, the benefits of Hong Kong for doing business are many. The clear and solid legal system and an attractive tax regime, territorial tax regime, are definitely key points to take into account. Not to mention the doorway of the mainland China market through Hong Kong through the closer economic partnership arrangement, a free trade agreement concluded in 2003, with arrangement opens access for Hong Kong business to the mainland market and benefits the mainland as Hong Kong service as a perfect getaway for mainland businesses to reach out to the global market. In summary, we can conclude that the most outstanding benefits of Hong Kong are the following: advanced economic with one of the highest GDPs in the world, ranked 5th in the World Bank Doing Business ranking, highly qualified human resources, English as one of 2 languages in the province, common law and business-friendly legal system, clear, straightforward and transparent regulation of all levels of government, access to the mainland China market, territorial tax principle application, profit tax rate of 16.5%, no withholding tax, no VAT, current tax incentives and new proposed amendments to the tax legislation that intend to reduce the tax burden, especially for CMEs. I think that this is all from me for today for doing business. Eltoma Corporate Services. As a international service provider, we provide services in company formation, maintenance, in Hong Kong as well, and all over the world. In Hong Kong, we provide services of company formation, maintenance, changes in the company structures, transfer in, transfer out of companies, bank account opening, rental agreements preparation, legal services providing, taxation, and so on. In all other jurisdictions, we are working with tax planning, bookkeeping, accounting service providing, banking and finance, incorporation of companies, IT service providing, legal service providing, migration services, license, permits, and so on. Also, we have a recruitment. We provide recruitment services. We are working with different clients all over the world and offer them a high level of recruitment services. Our special website you can find in Google or any other web searches. And also currently Eltoma Corporate Service can assist with properties, with real estate market. We can assist with buying property in Cyprus. Our website www.eltoma-property.com, where you can see a lot of interesting properties which can be buy. We also can assist and help with migration and with documents to be prepared and submitted to receiving permits for and visas to our clients all over the world who wants to have property in Cyprus. We also can assist with receiving of Cyprus passport. And because of investment in property, and also we can assist with any other services containing doing business all over the world. The main jurisdictions we are working with is Cyprus, Singapore, Hong Kong, United Kingdom. Also, we're working with all other offshore jurisdictions like Seychelles, BVI. We are working with companies to corporate structuring and cryptocurrencies. So please don't hesitate to welcome us on our website, and also please don't hesitate to contact us via email or via phone. We have Eltoma Corporate Services has different offices open in Singapore, Hong Kong, Cyprus, United Kingdom. We're going to open one more office in United Kingdom. We have office in Kiev, Ukraine, where I'm located currently, and we have two offices in Russia, St. Petersburg and Moscow. So please don't hesitate to contact us. We will be welcome to help you with all your questions. Well, so we will answer on all your questions. We will assist with company information maintenance and so on. So please be welcomed. And this is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Please send, you can send here in the chat any of your questions you are interested in regarding doing business in Hong Kong, regarding taxation in Hong Kong, maybe somehow, and we will discuss it more. And I will discuss it more directly with each of you. You also may contact me on our email, info@eltoma.global-global.com, or my personal email, alina.kulikovska@eltoma-global.com. So please don't hesitate. Welcome and have a great Friday ahead.